Good morning, students. So today we will discuss about the chapter 2, that is linear differential equation with variable coefficients. So before starting this topic, it should be remembered that here we will use the methods and results of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So you should be familiar with the results and that methods of linear differential equation with constant coefficient, which we studied in chapter number 1 before proceed to chapter 2. So let us start our chapter number 2 with an introduction of our first topic, that is Cauchy-Euler differential equation, or you can call it as a homogeneous linear equations. So before entering into this general form, first we think about the definition. So homogeneous linear differential equation. So what do you mean by this homogeneous? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of homogeneous? See, the word homogeneous, which basically means uniformity. Homogeneity means uniformity or of the same level. So in this case, the word homogeneous, it means the power of the variable and the order of the derivative both should be equal. That is homogeneous. The order of the derivative, okay, order of derivative and its coefficient power both should be equal. That is homogeneous. So you just remember the word homogeneous. Homogeneous ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ನೆನಪಾಗಬೇಕು. That is variable, the variable coefficient. ನೋಡಿ, chapter name itself says it is a variable coefficient. So variables are coefficients are variables, not constant coefficients. Variable coefficient. The power of this variable should be equal to the order of this derivative. Suppose if you have second order derivative, suppose if it is d square y by dx square, it is a second order derivative. So in this case, you will definitely see the variable with power 2 with it. Power of the variable and order of the derivative both are equal. So you can say it is a homogeneous. If you have dy by dx, first order derivative, then you will definitely see the variable with the power 1 of a variable. So power is 1 and order is also 1. First order derivative. Power of the variable and order of the derivative both should be equal. In that case, you can say that is a homogeneous differential equation. So this is about the word homogeneous. Power of the variable, order of the derivative both should be equal, that is homogeneous. Now coming to the word linear. What is linear differential equation? I hope all of you know what is linear. What about linear differential equation? The dependent variable y and its derivative with respect to independent variable x, like dy by dx or d square y by dx square, appears in the first degree and are not multiplied together. The degree of the derivative should be 1 and the power of the dependent variable, and no mutual multiplication between the derivatives and the dependent variables is allowed. That is linear differential equation. So you just remember the degree of the derivative should be 1 and the power of the dependent variable is also should be 1 and no mutual multiplication like no mutual multiplication between the dependent variables and the derivatives is allowed. When you will say the equation is a linear differential equation. So this is about the homogeneous linear differential equation. So let us consider some differential equations. So these two are the linear differential equations as a independent variable x and dependent variable y. Its derivatives are like dy by dx and d square y by dx square. So these two derivatives are appearing in the first degree, right? Appears in the first degree and not multiplying together. So you can say it is a linear differential equations. So these two differential equation, the equation number 1 is the homogeneous linear differential equation with the variable coefficients. First equation number is a homogeneous linear differential equation with the variable coefficients because the power of x, what is the power of x? It is 2 and the order of the derivative is also 2. So the power of x and the order of the derivative associated with them are equal. So both are equal. Now consider the second term. The independent variable x and the derivative both are having the equal. So power of x is 1 and this is the first order derivative. It means it is also 1. So both are equal. In that case you can say this given differential equation is a homogeneous linear differential equation with the variable coefficients. But in the equation number 2, it is not homogeneous differential equation. Of course, it is a linear differential equation because it is satisfying all the conditions of a linear. But it is not homogeneous. Why? Because here the power of x and the order of the derivative are not equal. Power of x is 1. This is the second order derivative. Both are not equal, so it is not homogeneous. So in this case, you can say it is a non-homogeneous linear differential equation. Of course, it is a linear, but not homogeneous, not satisfying the conditions of homogeneous. It is the non-homogeneous linear differential equation. Okay. So this is about the homogeneous and non-homogeneous linear differential equations. So now you remember these important points. The differential equation is called homogeneous linear differential equation with variable coefficient if the power of x are equal to the order of the derivative associated with them are equal. For example, it is a differential equation number 1. So here the differential equation 1 is homogeneous. Their power of x and order of the derivatives are equal. So here the independent variable x is having the power 2 and it's a derivative. It is also second order derivative. Both are equal. So it is the homogeneous linear differential equation. In the second point, the dependent variable y and its derivative with respect to independent variable x like dy by dx or d square y by dx square appears in the first degree. In that case, you can say the equation is a linear, are not multiplied together. That is, in the homogeneous linear differential equation, we will not get any terms like y dy by dx or y square d square y by dx square. In this homogeneous linear differential equation, we will not get any terms like y dy by dx or y square d square y by dx square. No mutual multiplication is allowed between the dependent variables and its derivatives. So this is about the linear, homogeneous linear differential equation. The third point, the differential equation are also known as Cauchy-Euler differential equation. This homogeneous linear differential equation, you can also call it as a Cauchy-Euler differential equation. Okay. So now coming to the general form of the your Cauchy-Euler differential equation. So any differential equation is of the form x power n d power n plus p1 of x power n minus 1 d power n minus 1 plus and so on plus pn of y is equals to q is generally said to be Cauchy-Euler differential equation. Say if such type of model is available of the differential equation that was given by Cauchy and Euler, both are the mathematicians. Now in order to find out the solution of such Cauchy-Euler differential equation, I just give you the procedure. Later on we enter into the problems. Here based on this one, you can directly find out the solution. It is so it should be in the particular in this particular form where this p1, p2 and so on pn are nothing but the coefficients. Okay, p1, p2 and so on pn are the coefficients, and this right hand side q is nothing but it may be a constant or it may be a function of x variable. Okay, it may be either constant or it may be function of x only. So it is called Cauchy-Euler differential equation. So in the next step, now you are starting with x is equals to e power z. I am supposing, I am substituting wherever x is there in the place of a given equation, wherever x is there, I will substitute as a e power z. I am assuming or I am substituting, I am supposing x as a e power z such that log x is equals to z. X is equals to, I am taking x as a e power z, log x is equals to z. So logarithm of x, that is equals to z. So then you are substituting x into d as a d1. X into d, it is equal to some d1. You can denote with any symbol, any letter. You may take as a theta also. I'm just supposing it as a d1. You can take theta also. I'm supposing x into d as a d1. Similarly, x square into d square, it is d1 of d1 minus 1. If you take theta, x square d square becomes theta of theta minus 1. I am taking x into d as a d1. Similarly, x square d square is a d1 of d1 minus 1. X cube into d cube is d1 of d1 minus 1, d1 minus 2, and so on. Here where d1 is nothing but d by dz, where d1 stands for d by dz. Now you are substituting all these values in the given differential equation to get the equation in the form of f of d1 of y is equals to q. You have to substitute all these values in the given differential equation, which is in the Cauchy-Euler form, to get the equation in the form of f of d1 of y, that is equals to q. Here q is nothing but in terms of z only. Q is in terms of a z variable. So once you get the equation in this form, you find out the complementary function by calculating the auxiliary equation, which is nothing but f of m is equals to 0. So after that, you can do the further steps, whether it may be a finding particular integral, which is nothing but yp is equals to 1 by f of d1 of q by applying your previous methods by observing this q value, q term. If this q term is in the form of e power ax, we studied in the chapter number 1 how to solve the that equation when the right hand side looking like e power ax. What was that second form? If the equation right hand side of the equation is in the form of a sin ax or cos ax. Okay. So by applying your previous methods, so based on the function of q, you have to apply that previous methods to get your particular integral. So then you are calculating the complete solution yc plus yp, which is complementary function plus particular integral. So you will get the general solution or complete solution of the given equation. So this is about a brief procedure to be available for your Cauchy-Euler differential equation or a homogeneous linear differential equation. So in the first step, write the given differential equation in the symbolic form first. So after that, we have to substitute or we have to assume. We are supposing that x is equals to e power z such that log x is equals to z. And we are supposing x into d as a d1. Similarly for x square into d square also and so on. Where d1 stands for d by dz. So after substituting all these values in your given differential equation, you will get the equation in the form of f of d1 of y is equals to 2. So once you get the equation in this form, you can do the further steps, whether it may be a finding complementary function or a particular integral. Find the complementary function by calculating the auxiliary equation roots, which always equates with a 0. Then find the particular integral, which is nothing but 1 by f of d into q. So by combining these two equations, you will get the complete solution of the equation. So this is about the procedure. So now let us solve some examples. We will get to know how to solve the Cauchy-Euler differential equation. So solve d square y by x square into d square y by dx square minus 3x dy by dx plus 4 of y, that is equals to 2x square. So is it looking like Cauchy-Euler differential equation? Here, see, the only thing is x square means it should compulsory have d square here. X must have d. So like that, it is a same combination. You can say that it is a Cauchy-Euler differential equation. So first you write down in the symbolic form. So how to write down in the symbolic form? So I am just introducing capital D. Capital D stands for d by dx. So d is nothing but d by dx. What is our given differential equation? We will write in the symbolic form. That is therefore x square into d square so x square into d square minus 3x into d plus 4 of y, that is equals to 2x square. So as we know, we have to put x is equals to e power z. X is in terms of a z variable. So therefore, log x is equals to e power. So log x is equals to, it is z only. So based on that, you can directly write down. So x into d. What is your x into d? I am supposing x into d as
साइंस साइंस एडमिशन करा
so now you can, in order to apply your Cauchy-Euler differential equation, you have to start with x is equals to e power z. This indicates that log x is equals to z. The next step is you are introducing x into d, that is equals to d1. I am supposing x into d as a d1. Similarly for x square into d square, it is nothing but d1 of d1 minus 1. Okay, so now these values you are substituting in the given differential equation. So take this one as a equation number 1. So 1 becomes, so that is equals to x square into d square is there. It is nothing but d1 of d1 minus 1 minus 3 into x into d is nothing but your d1. It is minus 3 d1 plus 4 is a constant of y, that is equals to 2 into. See here, the x value we have taken as a e power z. Then what about your x square? It is e power z square. Can I write this one e power z square as a e power 2z? Yes, that is equals to. So you just simplify this one. So d1 into d1 is d1 square minus of d1 minus 3d1 plus constant of y is equals to 2 into e power 2z. So minus d1 minus 3d1 is nothing but minus 4d1 plus 4. It is first term. I am keeping the remaining terms as it is. It is 2 into e power 2z. So now if you observe this one, is it looking in the form of f of d1 of y is equals to q? So now you can do the further steps. That is finding the auxiliary equation, which equates with a 0, which is nothing but f of m is equals to 0. So substitute m in the place of your d1. M square minus 4m plus 4 is equals to 0. Now you can expand or you can solve this one using the factorization method. So sum should be minus 4 and multiplication should be plus 4m square. So we will get minus 2m plus 4, that is equals to 0. So in the first two terms, take m as a common, remaining terms are m minus 2. So in the next last two terms, take minus 2 as a common, we will get m minus 2, that is equals to 0. So the factors are m minus 2 and m minus 2. Product of two terms, that is equals to 0. So m minus 2 whole square, that is equals to 0. You will get the roots by the auxiliary equation, that are 2 and 2. So what kind of roots are these? Are they real or complex? These are real roots and repeated. Roots are real and repeating roots. So when the roots are real and repeating, how will you write the complementary function? Yc is equals to. So when the roots are real and repeated, you will write the equation in the form of c1 plus c2 into x into e to the power of that repeated root into x. Right? So here, see here. So d1 stands for d by dz. Please remember this one. d1 is nothing but d by dz. So actually it is not, see here it is C1 when the roots are real and repeated. Actually it is not x variable because it is converting into z variable. It is z only, C1 plus C2 of z into e to the power of repeated root into z, because we have taken the independent variable as a z, right? So independent variable is z. So we just converted x in terms of a z. We are writing x in terms of a z. So we have to write here z. So complementary function, which is equals to C1 plus C2 into Z into e to the power of a repeating root is 2 into Z. So this is about your complementary function. So now we are calculating YP. So YP means it is 1 by f of d1 of q. So what about your f of d1? So f of d1 is d1 square minus 4d1 plus 4. And q is nothing but a 2 e power 2z. So write down here 1 divided by, it is a d1 square minus 4d1 plus 4. Q is nothing but 2 into it per 2z. So if you look at the e power 2z, so it is in the form of a e power ax. It is looking like e power ax type, right? So directly d1 is replaced by this a value in the denominator. Apply our previous procedure which you studied in that ordinary differential first chapter. So that is equals to 2 into 1 divided by. So after substituting this a value in the denominator, wherever d1 is there, we have to substitute this a value. It is in the form of a e power ax. So I am keeping 2 as it is, and e power ax. How to solve this one? This a value we have to substitute in the denominator. So after substituting, after replacing the a value in the denominator, that is substituting 2 value in this denominator, will you get 0 here? So in order to say whether the denominator becomes a 0 or not, look at the a value. Here the a value is nothing but 2, right? A value is 2 means, is that value present in your roots? Is this a value is present in the roots? Yes, it is present in the roots. A value is present in the root, your auxiliary equation roots. So automatically 2 is present in your root means definitely you will get 0 here. If this a value is present in the roots, the denominator definitely becomes 0. In that case, we have to write down in terms of a factorization. So what is the factorization of this one? So these factors can be calculated by based on your roots we calculated for auxiliary equation. So already 2 is there means it is the factorized form of your given equation. So you just substitute m in the place of a d1. d1 minus 2 whole square is the factorization form. So in that case, you have to write this one in the form of a x to the power n over n factorial. When the denominator is becoming 0, in that case, we have to write down the denominator in this form. So what is your n value? N is nothing but a 2. And we have substituted x in terms of a z variable because the independent variable d1 is nothing but your d by dz, right? So independent variable is z. So we have to write down in terms of a z, that is z to the power n over n factorial. Here n is nothing but 2. So 2 into this e power 2z I am keeping as it is. So 2 into z to the power 2 over 2 factorial into e power 2z. So these two and these two get cancels. So your particular integral or yp, that is equals to z square into e power 2z. So this is about your particular integral. Now if you combine the complementary function and the particular integral, you will get the complete solution of the equation. So what was your complementary function? It is nothing but y is equals to cf plus pi. Complementary function is c1 plus c2 into z into e to the power of 2z plus z square into e power 2z. So c1 plus c2 into z into e to the power of 2z. Can I write this one in the form of e power z square? So e power z square is nothing but e power 2z only. So plus z square into e power z whole square. So that is equals to c1 plus c2. So actually what is the meaning of this z? What is the meaning of e power z value? So we started with x is equals to e power z, right? Log x is equals to z. So that value we are substituting here. C1 plus C2, z is nothing but your log x. Okay, so e power z is nothing but x. It becomes x square plus z is nothing but it is log x square into e power z is there. We started with x as a e power z only, no? So e power z is nothing but x square. So now you can take x square as a common out of these two terms. So what are the remaining terms? C1 plus C2 into log x plus log x square. So this is about your complete solution. Y is equals to take x square as a common, write the remaining terms. Okay. So this is the method of solving when the equation is looks like Cauchy-Euler form. And the differential equation is a homogeneous linear differential equation. So you just remember, first you write down, as we know that d stands for d by dx, and we have to substitute. We have to suppose that x is equals to e power z and x into d. You remember these values. I am taking x into d. You can take any symbol, any letter. You can take theta also. I am taking x into d as a d1. Similarly for x square into d square and so on, where d1 is stands for d by dz. Substitute all these values in your given differential equation. You will get the equation in the form of f of d1 of y is equals to q. Once you get this equation in this form, you can do the further steps, whether it may be a finding complementary function or it may be finding particular integral. You can apply that previous procedure only for finding this yc and yp. So combine those two, you will get the required solution of the given equation. So let us see the some another example. So solve x square into d2y over dx2 plus 3x dy over dx plus y, that is equals to x plus 1 by x. So as we know that d stands for d by dx, and that is equals to, so observe here, is it looking like Cauchy-Euler differential equation? As I said in the previous problem, here the only thing is, you just remember, if x square means it should be compulsory have d square here. X must have d. So like that it is the same combination. You can say that it is a Cauchy-Euler differential equation. So first you write down the in the symbolic form. So how to write down in the symbolic form? If I am introducing capital D stands for d by dx. So based on this, I am directly write down here x square into d square plus 3x into d plus 1 of y, that is equals to x plus 1 by x. So now in order to apply our Cauchy-Euler differential equation, let us start with x is equals to e power z. This indicates log x is equals to z. The next step is you are introducing x into d as a d1. Similarly for x square into d square as a d1 of a d1 minus 1. So now take this one as a equation number 1 and substitute all these values in your given equation number 1. So we will get d1 of a d1 minus 1, that is x square d square value, plus 3x into d is nothing but e power z. So it is first you write down in the symbolic form and simplify this one. d1 square minus d1 plus 3d1 plus 1 of y, that is equals to e power z plus 1 by e power z. So x is nothing but your e power z value. So d1 square plus minus d1 plus 3d1 is nothing but plus 2d1 plus 1 of y, that is equals to e power z plus 1 by e power z. So if you observe this one, it is looking in the form of f of d1 of y, that is equals to q form, where f of d1 stands for d1 square plus 2d1 plus 1 and q stands for e power z plus 1 by e power z. So based on this one, you just calculate the auxiliary equation. What is your auxiliary equation? That is f of m is equals to 0. That means in the place of d1, we have to substitute m. So that m square plus 2m plus 1, that is equals to 0. So you just solve this one using the factorization method. So sum should be 2m and multiplication should be 1. So m square plus m plus 1 equals to 0. Mute ಮಾಡಿ. So m square plus m plus 1 is equal to 1. So in the first two terms, take m as a common. The remaining terms are m plus 1. And in the last two terms, take 1 as a common. Remaining are m plus 1, that is equals to 0. Then the product of two terms, it is equals to 0. You will get the terms or roots like m is equals to minus 1 and minus 1. So here also roots are real and repeated roots. Okay. So in order to write down the complementary function when the roots are real and repeated, based on that you are calculating the complementary function. So you will get the yc, that is equals to c1 plus c2 of z into e to the power of repeating root is minus into minus 1 into z. So this is about your complementary function. So in order to find out your particular solution, particular integral, that is equals to 1 by f of d1 into q that is nothing but what about your f of d1? It is nothing but a d1 square plus 2d1 plus 1, and q is nothing but your right hand side value, that is e power z plus 1 by e power z. So now you can just simplify this one. E power z over d1 square plus 2d1 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 by e power z is there. You can take this one as a reciprocal. It will become e power minus z. If you take this e power z to the numerator, the power becomes negative. So 1 by d1 square plus 2d1 plus 1 into e power minus z. So here also you can apply e power ax. It is looking like e power ax form, right? So here a value is 1. So that one value we have to substitute in the denominator. Wherever d1 is there, we have to substitute a value. If the denominator becomes completely 0, in that case we have to write down in the form of x to the power n over n factorial. So you just substitute and see whether it becomes 0 or not. So second case of checking whether the denominator becomes 0 or not, that is just observe that look at here a value. If this a value is present in your roots, which we got from auxiliary equation, if this a value is present in your roots, so in that case, if the root is present in you, if the a value is present in your root, then you will definitely get to the 0 here in the denominator. In that case, we have to write down in the factorization form and write this one in the form of x to the power n over n factorial form. So another way of checking whether the denominator becomes 0 or not, that is just substitute this a value in the denominator and check the value. So here it is in the form of e power ax. A is nothing but 1. So is it 1 present in your roots? What are the roots we got from the auxiliary equation? That are minus 1 and minus 1. So minus 1 are the roots, but we have a value here 1. So we will not get any 0 in the denominator. Okay, so just substitute here. So d1 square means it is 1 square plus 2 into d1 is 1 plus 1 as it is. In the second term plus 1 divided by. So here the a value is minus 1, right? So this minus 1, a is minus 1, this a value is present in the roots. We got the roots like m is equals to minus 1, 9, minus 1. So this a value is present in the roots. That means this complete denominator becomes a 0. 1 divided by 0 becomes. It will become completely 0. In that case, we have to write down this f of d in the form of a factorization. Okay. So how to write down in the factorization form? So you just look at the auxiliary equation. What is that auxiliary equation roots? So here we got the auxiliary equation is like m plus 1 and m plus 1. It is the m plus 1 whole square. It is the factorization form of your equation. So in the place of m, you can directly substitute d1. d1 plus 1 whole square. It is the factorization form. So you just substitute that value in the equation. That is d1 plus 1 whole square. So now you have to write down in the form of x to the power n over n factorial. X is in terms of a z because the independent variable we have taken as a z. d1 is nothing but d by dz. d1 stands for d by dz. Independent variable is z. So we have to write z square. What is your n value? N is 2. Right? So z power 2 over 2 factorial into e power minus z. I am keeping as it is. So this is 1 square is 1 plus 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1. It is 4 into e to the power of z. 1 by 4 into e to the power of z plus z square 2 factorial into e power of minus z. So this is about your particular integral. Now in order to find out your complete solution, first you write down the CF plus PI complementary function, which we got is a C1 plus C2 into Z into e to the power of minus Z, and write down your particular integral. 2 factorial becomes 2 only. Z square into e to the power of minus Z I am taking as it is. So actually, what is the meaning of this e power minus Z? So if we take in the denominator, the power becomes positive. So I am writing this e power minus z as a 1 by e power z. And this z stands for, we started with x is equals to e power z, right? What is the log x? Log x is equals to z. So in the place of z, I am just substituting as a log x. Log x into c2 as it is. E power minus z I am taking as a 1 by e power z. What about your e power z value? It is x. So 1 by x plus, so e power z plus divided by 4. So e power z is nothing. ಏನ್ ಸಚಿನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ? So this e power z is nothing but your x. Okay, so x by 4 plus z square. Z square is nothing but log square divided by 2. This denominator e power z is x. So this is about your complete solution when the given differential equation is in the Cauchy-Euler differential equation form. Okay, so in the next class I will cover some more examples on the same higher order, this homogeneous linear differential equations. So any doubt in this examples or any procedure of finding the solution? Okay, I will continue in the next class.